The Restless Mind and the Still Lake. In a quiet monastery nestled deep within a dense forest, a young monk sat in deep thought. Though he had devoted himself to the path of enlightenment, his mind was anything but peaceful. Worries flooded his thoughts, questions about life, fears of failure, regrets from the past. No matter how hard he tried, his mind would not be still. One evening, he approached Buddha, who sat beneath a great Bodhi tree, watching the sun sink into the horizon. Bowing respectfully, the young monk spoke, "Master, my mind is like a storm. No matter how much I meditate, my thoughts race like wild horses. I keep asking myself, what if I never find peace? What if my past mistakes hold me back? How do I silence these endless thoughts?" Buddha smiled gently, but did not answer. Instead, he rose to his feet and motioned for the young monk to follow. They walked together through the forest, the cool evening breeze whispering through the trees. The monk's thoughts still swirled in his mind, but he remained silent, hoping Buddha would reveal the answer soon. After a while, they reached a small, crystal-clear lake. Buddha bent down, picked up a stick, and stirred the water, creating ripples that distorted their reflections. "Look at the lake," Buddha said. "What do you see?" The young monk peered into the water. "I see my reflection, but it's unclear, disturbed by the ripples." Buddha nodded. "This is your mind when you overthink. Restless, unsettled, unable to see things as they truly are." The young monk frowned. "But how do I stop these ripples? My thoughts come on their own, and the more I try to push them away, the stronger they become." Buddha chuckled softly. Then, he put the stick down and sat beside the lake. "Now, we wait." The young monk watched in silence. Slowly, the ripples began to fade. The water became still, and soon the lake reflected the sky and trees perfectly, as though it were a mirror. Minutes passed, and the monk found himself unexpectedly calm, simply observing the stillness of the water. His racing thoughts, too, had slowed down. He realized that he had been so focused on controlling his thoughts that he had never simply allowed them to settle on their own. "Do you see now?" Buddha asked. "You cannot force the water to be still by stirring it. It settles on its own when left undisturbed. Your mind works the same way." Realization dawned on the young monk. "So, I shouldn't fight my thoughts? I should just let them come and go, without reacting to them?" Buddha nodded. "Exactly. The more you fight your thoughts, the more power you give them. But when you simply observe them, like clouds passing in the sky, they lose their grip on you. Let your mind be like the still lake, and clarity will come." The young monk bowed deeply. "Thank you, Master. I finally understand. I will stop trying to control my thoughts, and instead, I will observe them with patience." Buddha smiled. "Remember, peace is not something you chase. It is something that arises when you stop chasing." And from that day forward, the young monk no longer feared his thoughts. He learned to watch them, accept them, and let them go, like leaves floating on the surface of a quiet lake. His mind, once a storm, became a place of stillness, where clarity and wisdom could finally take root. Overthinking is like stirring water. It only creates more disturbance. The more we try to control or suppress our thoughts, the stronger they become. True peace comes when we learn to observe our thoughts without attachment, allowing the mind to settle naturally, like a still lake reflecting the truth of the present moment.